Okay guys, hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about a character called Gog, who's from the TV show Peep Show. So if you haven't watched the show, I'll just give you this is in no way sufficient to the actual story, but I'll just give you a quick rundown. So there's basically this it's just a TV show about two guys, and there's one episode where one of the guys who's quite popular in school meets someone he used to bully in at like a drinks party, who's called Gog, right? And now Gog was obviously bullied by this guy and everyone else at their school, but he's now very popular. He's very successful. Sorry, not popular. He's made a lot of money working in music, and the table is an example of where the tables are turned, because the guy who used to bully him is a musician, like a really failing musician, and so he ends up working for Gog. Gog's kind of got him wrapped around his finger, trying to make music, right? Anyway, why am I talking about this? Well, I think Gog is an example of what you shouldn't do if you were, well, bullied at school, but just more generally, if you were sort of on the back foot in earlier life, because what Gog's done there is he has excelled in a separate realm to the one on which he was in the back foot. So Gog, this character, I mean, it's extremely better if you've watched it, obviously, but so forgive me if I'm butchering this. But Gog, this character, he's like very successful, but he's not actually terribly, he's got lots of money, he's very powerful, but he's not terrible. He hasn't got the sort of look behind him. He's still, you can just tell that behind this facade of being a very successful music producer, he's still just a little kid who got bullied at school, but now he's got this kind of tyrannical power behind him, which isn't terribly good. So I think if you're on the back foot, it's very tempting to do what he's done in this film and just get a good job, excel, make lots of money, as a way of escaping from your past demons, right? This is the problem. I think there's only, no matter how successful you are in any domain, there's that one domain of sort of becoming kind of the man, that sort of domineering presence that people respect, that you still haven't conquered. And if Gog got his position taken away from him, and let's say, like, this is obviously a hypothetical situation, I'm not saying that this would actually happen, but it illustrates my point. Let's say Gog and all his old school friends, or not friends, all the school bullies, got put on an island again, in a desert island. It's like, it'd be the same old situation, because Gog hasn't really leveled up that sort of character of being a domineering kind of guy that people respect, right? So he hasn't really got anywhere. In the modern world, he's raised himself up in a certain position, but deep down he's the same old person. So anyway, I'm saying if you have this sort of chip on your shoulder from school and like, fair play, I sympathise a lot with that. If you have this sort of chip on your shoulder of feeling on the back foot in school, like, I experienced it to an extent myself, and it like stays with you. There's nothing you can do about it. But you want to deal with it in a better way than Gog deals with it in Peep Show. What I think you should do is work to obviously, like, become successful in the sort of measurement that Gog is successful, right? Have a good job, all of that. But I think the real game changer for someone like this is going to be to get over that sort of feeling of powerlessness. And I know it sounds very silly, but the best way to do that is just to get in the gym and put on some weights And I honestly think that just does so much to not just your self-image, but the image you portray to others. And that's more, you have a more sort of domineering presence that people respect more than any job could ever get you. Because deep down, that's all that Gog wants. He doesn't need the success. Like, it's great that he has it, obviously he enjoys it. But what really I can get from the film, from the series, is he wants that respect from, you know, in a truer form that you only get from being being the kind of character that doesn't get bullied, basically. So yeah, don't be God, guys.